And be happier if her name was Tiffany. And I'll tell you why. Because it's time for the feeding. So there's obviously a lot of feasts to be had with Thanksgiving next week.
Yep.
Don't panic because Chef Christopher with Sweet Provisions is telling us that we can make our own pie or we can just order them from you.
Pumpkin, key lime, coconut cream, butterscotch pecan, chocolate mousse, apple, blackberry, strawberry, rhubarb.
See, Jamie is my new pie girl. She just listed off all the pies we're selling at Sweet Provision. So, yep, we sent a recipe to the network so you guys can do our version of an apple pie, but we have a little bit of it to go in here.
Okay.
So I've already greased my pie tin. Okay. We have a dough, kind of a basic dough with flour, butter, vanilla, sea salt, and then we're gonna go with our filling here. So we have delicious red apple. Jamie's messing with my crust over here. Delicious red apple, and then we make a roux with lots of butter and some flour, and then we have cinnamon, and we have nutmeg, and we have brown sugar and regular sugar, and we kind of cook it down, and it gets nice and thick, and you can kind of see it. I mean, it's almost like it's almost like caramel-esque, right?
Yeah.
We're cooking down those sugars and whatnot, so we get these nice and hot. We're gonna scoop it all in here.
And I was taste testing the crust.
Yes.
And it is delicious.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you having our back. So the recipe that we have sent for the viewers and everyone, it will make you 3 pies.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, during the holidays, if you're like our family where there's 5 boys, 1 girl, 12 nieces and nephews, you need a couple pies. So we kind of bring
Or if you're going to a couple of parties.
Or if you're going to a couple of parties, or if you're just like Jamie and you're going to make pies for everyone in your family.
That's what I do.
Look how easy
I have a family of 80.
So
don't get rid of that extra crust.
No, we're gonna pinch it back,
Little snack.
and we're gonna kind of pull everything this way.
Now, do you butter the?
Yep. So you can use butter. We at the restaurants we actually use clarified butter. So it's melted butter with all the fat solids removed, and we put it in a little spray can.
Oh.
And then we spray it on top, and that will give you a nice little. So we do that.
Yeah. Clarified butter? Can we buy that somewhere?
No, but you can make it. You just melt the butter, and then as it gets warm, the fat solids will start removing. So here's a very good point.
Okay.
This crust sat out for a little bit. It got warm.
Okay.
A pie trick when you're making these pies.
Yes.
Keep your crust cold. Okay.
Right.
The cold butter will allow it so when it bakes there'll be little pockets of air.
Okay.
So that's how you get the flaky crust, and then it'll just be easier to work with. So when you have a little bit of an easier pie crust,
The magic of
you
television.
get that bad. I know, magic of a television. You have a wonderful, beautiful, homemade apple pie. And
But let's talk about the homemade, because you do this with all your pies. It's not, nothing came out of a can, nothing was frozen before you got to
absolutely
it.
not.
You're making it.
We are doing everything from scratch. We try to take everything to the most basic level. So like even our ice cream is a good example.
Yeah.
We're one of the few companies in Arizona that will take Arizona dairy, pasteurize our own base, churn our own ice cream.
For your own safety, you should move away between Jamie and the
Because Jamie's
food.
getting into that pie.
Back away.
May I help you a little bit?
Let's help her with that, and we'll talk
Okay.
about the ice cream and everything else you have at Sweet Provisions when we come back, because it's time for Jamie to have the feeding.
Just a try.